Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Jai Dandavat Pranams.
Yes.
So, how was the exam for Unit 3?
Prabhuji, it went off well. It's just that I can speak for myself because I'm working and it's long days. So I should have prepared nicely, but I couldn't prepare. So, but I think I must pass. That's what I would say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like, if you really prepare even a week or 2 weeks before,
Yes.
like, you'll be able to
But it
easily
was
pass it.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhu. It was
Mm.
good, like it covered everything, Prabhuji. So
Mm.
that's what I liked. Like nothing was left out. That's the feeling I got. It was a very holistic kind of paper.
Okay.
Thank
Nice.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank
What about other devotees? Yes, Sudama, you must.
The paper was good, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. I'm happy that everybody's happy at least. Okay. All right. Today we will continue our discussion on the nectar of devotion. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-jana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shwapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yudapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakamitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasundubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Hayate Girim Yat Kripatam Bhuvandi Sri Guru Nivatam. So today we will start the 9th chapter of the Nectar of Devotion. Further considerations of devotional principles. So in this chapter, scriptural evidence is given for items 20 through 42 of the 64 angas of Bhakti, with emphasis on deity worship, chanting, and prayers. Yeah, so in the previous discussion, we have discussed the scriptural evidences up to the 19th items out of the 64 angas of Bhakti, where actually in the 8 chapters, it is specifically discussed about offenses, yeah, different offenses that needs to be avoided, and those offenses are taken from different sources, such as the Padma Purana, Varaha Purana, especially offenses in terms of worshipping the deities or Seva Parat, and also the chanting of the Nama Parat. So here, blasphemy. Yeah. There are 3 ways of dealing with such insult. Yeah. I think in the past we have discussed this matter also. Yes. If someone is heard blaspheming by words, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument. If he is unable to defeat the opposing party, then the next step is that he should not just stand there meekly, but should give up his life. The third process is followed if he is unable to execute the above mentioned two processes, and this is that one must leave the place and go away. If a devotee does not follow any of the above mentioned three processes, he falls down from his position of devotion. Yeah. So now here number two is sounds to be very extreme, to give up one's life. So of course, in other places also I have read, I have heard that if you cannot win by argument, you should cut the tongue of the blasphemers. Yeah, that's even more extreme than this. Yeah. But the understanding is that cutting the tongue means to defeat the opposite person. Yes, the one who blasphemed. Second, to give up the body, meaning because if we continue hearing the blasphemy against the Lord or against the Lord's devotees, then actually we are inviting all the inauspiciousness into our life. So the third one is quite easy. You just leave the place. Yes, if you cannot win the argument, even after you win the argument, if the opposite party is really stubborn with their own argument, then better just leave. We should not stay in such a place where devotees and the lords are being blasphemed. Yes, because it's all inauspicious. And if we stay, as it is mentioned here, that we will fall down from our position. Okay. Regarding tilak and tulasi beads, sometimes the newcomers would ask, like, what is this mark? Tilak. In the Skanda Purana, which says person who are decorated with tilak or gopi chandan and who mark their bodies all over with the holy names of the Lord, and whose necks and breasts there are tulasi beads, are never approached by the Yamadutas. The Yamadutas are constable of King Yama, the Lord of Death, who punishes all sinful men. Vaishnavas are never called for such constables of Yamaraj. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the narration of Ajamila's deliverance, it is said that Yamaraj gave clear instruction to his assistants not to approach the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are beyond jurisdiction of Yamaraj's activities. Okay. So even in the 10th canto also we find when after Krishna killed Putana, so the residents of Vrindavan, especially Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, they actually perform Abhishek to Lord Krishna using the Panchagavya. And after that, they chanted the different names of the Lord all over Krishna's bodies, meaning putting the tilak, yeah, like Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana, Madhavaya, Govindaya, all over his body. So actually, as we heard, that our body should be the temple of the Lord. Yes, so the body should be engaged properly in the service of the Lord. So when we put on the tilak, actually, that's actually remind ourselves and reminds others also that we are the devotees of the Lord. In some extreme case, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur even mentioned that if you happen to see someone without putting tilak on their forehead, you should jump immediately to Ganga for purification. And this is like really extreme, right? But that's the idea, Even he mentioned, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentioned that a person, a body, without the decoration of tilak, this kind of marking, is considered to be a dead body. Yeah, because this mark is not simply mark, but we chant the prayers. Lalati Kesavam Dhyayan, Om Kesavaya Namaha. So I meditate on Lord Kesava and I place him on my forehead. Yeah. So Narayana Matvodare, Om Narayanaya Namaha. We put here the mark on our belly. So all over the places. Yeah. In other sense also it is for the protection. Yeah. First, it is auspicious. Second, it reminds us and reminds others that we are devotees of Lord Krishna. Yeah. Third, it's for our protection because we are putting the Lord as Kavacha, actually. Kavacha means to protect. So similarly, the Kanti Mala also. Yeah, the Kanti Mala. It is mentioned here, yeah, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, also narrated in the 6th canto, chapter 2. Yamaraj clearly ordered his servants, the Yamadutas, that not to approach those who are wearing Kantimala, Tilak, and especially those who chant the holy name of the Lord. Yeah, so we are actually, as devotees, supposed to be, yes, in all the time, yeah, putting this mark, yes, Tila and Kantimala. In India, I think this is common, but maybe for in some other places, in some other countries, a bit difficult, especially when you work in some offices, it is not possible. Then what to do? Many devotees asking me this question, what to do? Yeah. Well, actually, as Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur explained that the way how we put on Kantimala, it should be visible. It should be visible like this. Yes. But in some cases, then when it is not allowed, for example, in Indonesia, like when you are going to office, what to do? Then you can loosen up and then you can wear it like longer. Yeah. So you hide like this. And then what about the tila? Well, you can just take water and just chant Om Kesavaya Namaha like this. So that is fine. Yeah. So this tilak mark is actually, this is the lotus feet of the Lord. Yes. And this is a tulasi leaf. Yeah. The sign is tulasi leaf. Yeah. Because tulasi is always attached to the Lord's lotus feet. Yeah. That's the idea. Some of you may have the question or wondering why Srimati Radharani and the gopis, they don't put on tilak. Because there's competition between the two. Yeah, because this tulasi leaf, even it is described that Lakshmi Devi would very, how to say, jealous. Yeah, I mean, transcendently jealous to Tulasi Devi. Yeah, because Lakshmi Devi sometimes, in order to fulfill the devotees, the devotees' necessity and request, so sometimes she should leave Lord Narayan's chest. Yeah, but Tulasi Devi remained attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah. I was asking some of the pujaris here in Mayapur also, like why Radharani is not putting on tilak, and the gopis also not putting on tilak. And they answered me that because Radharani is the tilak. Yeah, because Radharani is the tilak. Yeah. So we see like in Krishna's mark, Krishna doesn't put this part generally. Yeah, of course, we see some pictures, some deities on Krishna's forehead, they put also tulasi. But actually, Krishna's tilak is without tulasi, because tulasi is situated on his lotus feet. Yeah. So like that. Yeah. But in any case, so tilak and kantimala is very auspicious for protection also, and it's purifying. Yeah. When it's different, when you see somebody or you meet someone with a tilak, it reminds us at the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so that's about tilak and kantimala. The Padma Purana also mentioned a person whose body is decorated with the pulp of sandalwood, with paintings of the with paintings of the holy names of the Lord, is delivered from all sinful reactions. And after his death, he goes directly to Krishna to live in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. Just putting on sandalwood, yeah, chandan paste on our body. Yeah, that's so auspicious. Now we may think that, it's so easy to go back home, back to Godhead. Just buy chandan wood or chandan powder, and then you apply on your forehead, you are free from sinful activities. But that is not the idea. Yeah. Because while putting the chandan also, we have to meditate at the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah. So that meditation actually free us from the sinful reaction, not just simply the chandan. Yeah. Otherwise, the entire world will be easily go back home back to Godhead. But the meditation itself to the lotus feet of the Lord is the potency by which actually we can be free from sinful reactions. Yes. Because there are certain mantras that we chant while putting on tilak, putting on chandan. Yeah. Accepting flower garlands. Now this is flower garlands that is already been offered to the Lord. Yeah. In the 11th canto, 6th chapter, verse 46 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava says to Krishna, "My dear Krishna, I have taken things which you have used and enjoyed, such as garlands of flowers, scented oils, garments, and ornaments, and I eat only the remnants of your foodstuff, because I'm your menial servant. So therefore, I'm sure that I shall not be attacked by the spell of material energy." Okay, so putting garlands or anything that already been offered to Krishna is auspicious. Yeah, sometimes you get the maha of Krishna's jewelry. So what to do with that? Yeah, you can wear it also. You can take it as prasada, or you can keep in a nice place. Yeah, you can worship those items. Yeah. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described that when Narottam Das Thakur, yes, Narottam Das Thakur, he escaped from his house. Of course, we know the story that his father is Jamindar, very rich, yes, but he wanted to just to dedicate his life to the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he escaped, and then he met the Lord secretly. And what happened? Lord Chaitanya just tear off some part of his kopin and gave that as Mahaprasada to Narottam Das Thakur. Now we see this is like very extreme example, right? But for such exalted person, such as Narottam Das Thakur, he really appreciate that, because that cloth is already being worn by the Lord. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wore it. So he accepted as prasadam and he tied around his head like this. Even in some other places also it is described that for the brahmachari, if you want to remain Naistiki brahmachari for the entire of your life, so you should take the kopin of those who have been practicing brahmacharya for their entire life and put around your head. So that is followed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here in Narottam Das Thakur. Yeah. So anything that already been offered to the Lord, yes, considered to be prasadam and should be treated carefully. Yeah, should be treated carefully. Sometimes devotees ask me like what to do with the flowers or garlands which is offered to the Lord. Should we dump it somewhere? Because in some big temples, I have seen personally that they just dump it in a garbage place. This is not to be done like that. Either you can dispose it to holy rivers, such as Ganga, Yamuna, or any rivers. Yes, or you can put under some trees where actually nobody will step over it, because it's considered to be offense. Therefore, after taking prasadam, especially those who are, I myself always take prasadam on the floor. Right? I prefer to sit on the floor rather than having chair and table. This is not my practice. Yeah, since my childhood actually, I always eat sitting on the floor. So after taking prasadam, you should immediately clean that spot where you take prasadam, because sometimes we don't realize, we are unaware that something may drop on the floor, maybe a grain of rice prasadam, or even a drop of some liquid, if that happened to be being stepped over by some other person, actually both we and that person is considered to be doing some aparat, because you step over some prasadam unconsciously. So immediately after you eat, you must clean that spot, or at least bring some water. That is the practice. Sometimes we are unaware of this, right? But stepping over something which is offered to the Lord is considered to be an offense. So we should be very careful. Now that's simple thing about prasadam, and what to speak of something that offered to the Lord, like garments, some jewelry. Should be very careful. Yeah. The purport of this verse is that for any person who simply follows these rules and regulation of decorating the body with the marks of tilak and gopi chandan, or sandalwood pulp, and who puts on the garlands which were offered to Krishna, there is no question of being conquered by the spell of material energy. At the time of death, there is no question of such persons being called by the constables of Yamaraj, even if one does not accept all the Vaishnava principles, but still takes the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna or Krishna Prasad. She will gradually become qualified to rise to the platform of a Vaishnava. Yes. So the first thing, the first qualification of a person to be engaged in the Lord's service is by engaging their tongue. Yes, Atase Krishna Nama Dina Bhavit Grahyamindriyahi Sevan Mukhe Jivadao Swayam Eva Spuratyarahan. So Sevan Mukhe Jivadao, to engage the tongue. Yeah, chanting the holy name and taking prasada. Then Swayam Eva Spuratyarahan. In that way, one will be gradually purified and will come to the understanding of Krishna Tattva. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, even if someone is not fully accepting the Vaishnava principles, but simply by taking prasadam, one will be gradually raised to the platform of Vaishnava. Yeah, therefore, prasadam is actually a very powerful means to purify our existence. Yeah, hardly even amongst the devotees, hardly all the devotees, yes, can eat only prasadam. This is a fact. Yes, even in some cases, myself also sometimes, I may take which is not offered to the Lord, in the sense of like when traveling, for example. Yeah, I mean, like if you travel just few hours, you can pack your own prasadam. But if you travel like more than a day, yeah, in the long journey, what to do? Sometimes you need to buy some fruits, right? Then what to do? Then mentally you can offer it to Krishna, wash it and then offer it to Krishna. Yes, that's like the least that we can do. Yeah. So taking only prasadam, if we can maintain this standard, only this one standard, then our life will be successful. Believe me. And that's not easy. Yeah, needs a lot of practice. Dancing before the deities. Now, this seems to be simple, yeah, but it is so powerful. Yes. In the Dwaraka Mahatmya, the importance of dancing before the deity is stated by Lord Krishna as follows. A person who is in jubilant spirit, who feels profound devotional ecstasy while dancing before me, and who manifests different features of bodily expression can burn away all the accumulated sinful reactions he has stocked up for many, many thousands of years. In the same book, there is a statement by Narada wherein he asserts, from the body of any person who claps and dances before the deity, showing manifestation of ecstasy, all the birds of sinful activities fly away upward. Just as by clapping the hands, one can cause many birds to fly away. Similarly, the birds of all sinful activities which are sitting on the body can be made to fly away simply by dancing and clapping before the deity of Krishna. Yeah. So dancing and clapping, yes, this is so powerful. Yeah. One day, Srila Prabhupada was approached by an Indian gentleman. This is like, in India, there are so many sadhus, right? So this Indian gentleman approached Prabhupada and mentioned, "Oh, you are Asirvad Baba." Yeah. They call Prabhupada Asirvad Baba, means someone who give the Asirvad or give the mercy. And then this man just put his hand like this in the front of Prabhupada and said that, "Swamiji, can you read my poem?" Like palmistry, reading the poem. Prabhupada said, "Yes, give me your hand." Prabhupada took his hand, and Prabhupada, with the expression of his face, like shocked, wow. And then this man was asking, "Oh, Swamiji, what did you see?" And Prabhupada said, "Oh, I could see from your hands the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death." And Prabhupada said, "But there is a way how to change all this." And then this old man said, "What should I do?" And then Prabhupada said, "You just chant Hare Krishna and clap like this." So all the bad karma will fly away. Yeah. So yes, in some other places also, like in Garuda Purana, it is described, "Avasena piyanamni kirtitai sarva pappakaihi." So if we perform kirtan, especially in the front of the deities, yes, Avasena piyanamni, when we accept the holy name, sarva papaihi means all the sins, yes, will immediately fly away, run away. Human vimuchyate sadhya simhatrasayam rigariva. So just like the simha, just like a lion, roaring in the forest, any other animals which hear the roaring of the lion will run away. So similarly, if we chant the holy name of the Lord, then all the sins will be running away. Yeah, especially in the front of the deities, dancing, clapping our hands, singing the holy names. There was one time a real life experience that I had a friend from Australia for doing Bhakti Sastri, and he told me that one time His Holiness Kadambakanana Swami was leading kirtan. So when Maharaj was leading kirtan, it's like 5 minutes he just started and immediately rocking up like till the end for 1 hour. So devotees just dancing. So he was dancing, in ecstasy. And it's happened that in that hall, kirtan hall, right before the kirtan, so some Matagis, they are making garland. Yeah. And there was one needle left. Yeah, one needle left. And my friend, he was dancing, and then this needle just piercing his foot. Yeah. But during the kirtan, he didn't notice that because it's too much ecstasy, And then after the kirtan, so everybody settled down, right? And then another devotee noticed that his foot was bleeding. Yeah, his foot was bleeding, and then he told him. And then he found actually this needle already like so deep, piercing his foot. Yeah. Of course, they took the needle out, and then he realized the pain after that. So here is the thing. When you are really focused on the holy name, focus on the kirtan, focus on the dancings, even when your feet is being pierced by a needle, so deep, you don't feel the pain. But after you're done with all this ecstasy, then you again come back to your bodily consciousness, then you feel the pain. Yeah. And then he was limping after that. But during the kirtan, he didn't feel anything. Yeah. So that's the power of the holy name when we really observe ourselves, yes, completely absorbing to the holy name, dancing. Yeah. Okay, so dancing, don't feel shy. Yeah, don't feel shy to dance. To dance in the kirtan. Never feel shy to dance in the kirtan. Some people are having difficulties to dance because of feeling shy, you know, but that should not happen to us. Yeah, at least you do the Swami step. Yeah, the simplest dance movement. Yeah, the Swami step. Raise your hands and just move the legs. Yeah, left, right, left. And then the next one here is going down in honor of the deity. In the Naradiya Purana, there is a statement about bowing down and offering respect to the deity. It is said that a person who has performed a great ritualistic sacrifice and a person who has simply offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord cannot be held as equals. The person who has executed many great sacrifices will attain the result of his pious activities. But when such results are finished, he has to take birth again on the earthly planet. However, the person who has once offered respect, bowing down before the deity, will not come back to this world because he will go directly to the abode of Krishna. Yeah. So our ticket is already purchased. All of us here, at least in this forum, yeah, we already offered our obeisances to the deities of the Lord, sincerely, at least once, maybe not once, maybe hundreds of times. Yes. But don't take this statement as granted that, okay, I don't have to do anything more now. I already offered my obeisances to the deities of the Lord. Now my ticket to Goloka Vrindavan is already there in my pocket. But we have to understand how many lifetimes we already committed sinful activities. Then we have to continue our practice of offering obeisances to the Lord. Yes. Of course, it is mentioned here, even once. Yes. One time you offer obeisances to the Lord, you will not be back again to this material world. Yeah. If that one time obeisances guaranteed your ticket to Goloka Vrindavan, then better obeisances, better offer your obeisances for many, many times till the end of the life. Yes, to the deities of the Lord. Standing up to receive the Lord. In the Brahmanda Purana, it is said the person who sees the Lord's Ratha Yatra car festival and then stands up to receive the Lord can purge all kinds of sinful result from his body. Following the deity. Similar statement in the Bhavishya Purana, in which it is said, even if born of a low Krishna, sorry. Even if born of a low family, a person who follows the Ratha Yatra car, when the deities pass in the front or from behind, will surely be elevated to the position of achieving equals opulence with Vishnu. Yeah. So Ratha Yatra festival. This is so powerful, actually, that we are pulling the Lord. Actually, of course, the internal meaning, internal spirit of the Ratha Yatra festival is that we are pulling the Lord into our heart. Yes, that's many times we may have heard from different speakers, different preachers. Yeah, bringing the Lord back. Yeah, to Vrindavan, the gopis, the residents of Vrindavan, pulling the Lord from Dwaraka to Vrindavan, yeah, to Gundicha. Gundicha is the Vrindavan. But the internal meaning is that we are pulling the Lord into our heart. Yes, even if accidentally one just follow the procession of Ratha Yatra, like so much sinful reaction is actually nullified. Therefore, we are so grateful that actually now all over the world, Ratha Yatra is performed. Yeah, not only in Jagannath Puri, not only in India. Yeah, those days the Ratha Yatra is done only in Jagannath Puri. Even I have read an article that those days, even during the British ruling India, like somehow like there is no internet, right? What to speak of internet? There is nothing like to announce the Ratha Yatra festival. But in that particular day, on the Ratha Yatra festival day, all the people from all over India, they came to Jagannath Puri. Everybody came to Jagannath Puri to celebrate the Ratha Yatra festival in that particular day. Somehow or other, they know the date. Yeah, they know the date. So like that, of course, people those days studying the Jyoti Sastra, yes, yeah, astrological science, the TT, yeah. So everybody knows the date for the Ratha Yatra festival, and everybody has gone to Jagannath Puri. And of course, now by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, that we get the darshan of Lord Jagannath, including those who are not Indian. Yes. So there is a pastime of Srila Prabhupada that his Western disciples were not allowed to enter the Jagannath Mandir, yeah, to take darshan of the Lord. And then Srila Prabhupada came, and then Prabhupada begged the gatekeeper to allow his disciples to enter, because anyway, they are also devotees, they are Vaishnavas. But the gatekeeper said that no, we cannot allow them because they are not Indian. They're born outside. And then Prabhupada said, okay, from this day, I will not also enter the temple. Yeah, Prabhupada said that I will not enter the temple. And I promise you, because you didn't allow my disciples to enter Lord Jagannath's temple, so Lord Jagannath will go out to meet his devotees. Yeah, so Prabhupada brought out Lord Jagannath. Yes. So not only Jagannath deities, yeah, any deities of the Lord. Yeah, like we have Padayatra, yeah, we have a polo cart with Gurnitai deities. Yeah, so if someone follows the procession of this during the Padayatra, then they get the same benefit as Ratha Yatra festival also. Now going to the temple of Vishnu or to places of pilgrimage. It is stated in the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, person who are impelled by pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, and who therefore go to see the deities of Vishnu in the temple will surely get relief from entering again into the prison house of a mother's womb. The conditioned soul forget the trouble of living within the mother's womb during birth, but it is very painful and terrible experience. In order to make an escape from this material condition, one is advised to visit a temple of wisdom with devotional consciousness. Then one can very easily get out of the miserable condition of material birth, circumambulating the temple of Vishnu. It is said in the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, a person who is circumambulating the deity of Vishnu can counteract this circumambulation of the repeated birth and death in this material world. The conditioned soul is circumambulating through repeated births and death on account of his material existence. And this can be encountered. This can be counteracted, simply by circumambulating the deity in the temple. Yeah. So this is a good practice. Yeah. To come to the deities and do parikrama around the altar. Yes. During the Guru Puja time, it is our practice that we take Srila Prabhupada, yeah, to do parikrama around the temple. Yes. So when we enter the temple of the Lord, yes, Lord Vishnu's temple, Krishna's temple, so we are no longer entering the womb of material mother. And then when we circumambulate the temple of the Lord, then we will no longer travel from one body to another. Yes, so that is the power of taking darshan, entering the temple. Of course, it should be with the devotional sentiment, with devotional mood. Yes, circumambulating the temple. Yes, is all auspicious for our existence. Archana, yeah, worshipping the deity. In the 10th canto, 81st chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is told how Sudama, an intimate friend of Krishna's, while going to the house of a Brahmana, murmured to himself, simply by worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over the planetary systems of the universe. All the opulences of this material world and the mystic power of performing the yoga system. In the Vishnu Rahasya, also it is stated, any person within this world who is engaged in the worship of Vishnu can very easily achieve the ever blissful kingdom of God known as Vaikuntha. So Archana is very powerful method also to develop our bhakti to the Lord. Yeah, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself emphasized this, that we must worship the deity of the Lord. Of course, we have some standard while worshiping the deities of the Lord. Yes. It is said that if you are not second initiated, it is not advised to worship the deity, the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord. So what to do now? And you can worship the picture of the Lord. Yes, that is actually the same thing, like you are worshiping the Archa, because the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord is considered to be non-different from the body of the Lord, and you have to treat the Archa very, very carefully. Yeah, you have to perform Abhisheka, you bathe the Lord, you dress the Lord. Yes, things like this, you know. I mean, it's in a much higher standard than simply worshiping the image or picture of the Lord. But the benefit will be the same. Yeah. But there are some devotees who are not second initiated, simply getting Harinam Diksha, so they get the permission to worship Gaurnita in their house. Yeah. Because it is described that Gaurnita can be pleased simply by kirtan. Yeah. But if you worship the Jagannath deities or Radha Krishna or Salagram Shila, so you must get the second initiation, because let's say, for example, while doing the offering, yes, so you have to chant some Gayatri, actually. Gayatri mantra should be chanted while doing the offering. Yeah. Yes, Rati Manjari Mataji.
Prabhuji, this is a question related to Mala. I'm just curious to know why there are 108 beads only and what is the significance of. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. So 108, it is described that in Vrindavan, Krishna has 108 gopis, very close associate with the Lord. And amongst these 108, there are the Astasaki. Yeah, there are the Astasakis. These are the very, very intimate gopis who are associating with Lord. Yeah, and the others are actually the helpers of the Astasakis. They are belong to the different grade of ages. Yeah, most of them are the Manjaris. Manjaris are the younger gopis. You know, I mean, like to say girls. Gopis is like those who are teenager. Yeah, but the Manjaris is like younger than that. So they are generally, of course, they are intimately connected with Krishna, but they're not serving Krishna directly like the Astasakis. Rather, they assist the the gopis, yeah, to serve the Lord. For example, like to prepare the swing for the Lord, yeah, and in some forests, in some bushes. So mostly all this decoration for the swings for the Lord's pastime with Srimati Radhika is done by the Manjaris. Yeah, and Lalita and Visakha normally would fan the Lord, and other gopis will bring some offering like this. But the Manjaris, they don't do it like direct service to the Lord. Yeah. So there are, of course, like in Vrindavan, like there are so many devotees, pure devotees, but 108 is the number of the closely, intimately connected with the Lord. And amongst the 108, eight is the Astasaki. Yeah. Therefore, in our beads, we separate the 108 with some, little bit long thread like this, just to separate between the Manjaris and the gopis. So that's the explanation why 108. And of course, from this, like everything becomes 108. Sometimes, your email address also having the 108. Yeah. Yes, there is 108 names of Krishna, 108 names of Nrsimhadev. So the Astotara Sata, the 108 becomes famous because of this. So like that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, next item is that rendering service to the Lord. The conclusion is that those who are rich men in society should construct beautiful temples and arrange for the worship of Krishna, so that people may be attracted to visit such temples and thereby be offered the opportunity of dancing before the Lord or chanting the holy name of the Lord, or else of hearing the holy name of the Lord. In this way, everyone will be given the chance to elevate himself to the kingdom of God. In other words, even a common man, simply by visiting such a temple, will be able to attain the highest benedictions. Not to mention the devotees who are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. Okay, what does it mean here, rendering service to the Lord? Yeah, that means anything that you just want to give to Krishna, especially if you are rich, as it is mentioned here. If you are rich, you can build temple to facilitate. People would take darshan, people would perform the archana, to hear Krishna Katha, yes, to chant the holy names. So even small service, yes, rendered to the Lord, that actually great achievement for us. As I many times mentioned the past time when Srila Prabhupada was giving a class, yes, suddenly one drunkard came and then just put a toilet paper in the front of Prabhupada and then just left. And Prabhupada said he has started his bhakti because he gave this toilet paper to the temple. And what to speak of bringing flowers, bhoga, some fruits, cleaning the temple, everything is so auspicious. Yeah, any service rendered to the Lord. So never think that something is too small for the Lord. Of course, we should have this kind of mentality that I have not done great, in order to enthuse us to do more service. But even the small service, such as cleaning the temple or bringing something to the Lord to be offered, that's actually a great achievement. Yeah. Okay, here in the chat, Gitamrita Mataji is asking a question. Okay. Some say Mataji shouldn't dance. Well, who said that? Mataji can dance, of course, but should be separate from the Prabhus. Yeah. Everybody should dance. Mataji should be dancing also, but should be in a separate place with the Prabhus. And dancing in such a way that you just dance for the deities, not to attract the opposite gender's attention. Yeah, you could easily notice actually those who are dancing just for the deities and those who are dancing just to attract the opposite sex. Yeah, so Matajis can be dancing, definitely. Yes, you should dance in such a way that you just dance for Krishna. By raising your arm, by doing the Swami step, or going front and backward like this, that is like the modest way to dance in the front of the deities. Yeah. Of course, sometimes out of control, we may jump up and down, but it is not so advisable. Yeah, when there are mans also, better not to jump for the Matatis. I would advise like that, you know. But if you dance like so nicely, very elegantly in the front of the deities, like you just dedicate your dance for the deities, then that is fine. Yeah, that is fine. Everybody should dance in the front of the deities, whether you are man or woman. You must dance because that's pleasing to the Lord. Yes, but not in a way to attract the opposite uh, gender. That's the idea. Yeah. If there is only Mataji, then you can dance as wild as you want, as per the beat of the holy name, that is fine. But in the temple, of course, like there are Prabhus also there, then you just dance slowly, nicely for the pleasure of the Lord. Then nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Of course, according to Sastras, like different injunction is there. A woman should not run uh, in the front of a man. Yes, just woman should not run in the front of a man. And a woman should not play sport in the front of man. Nowadays, of course, it is openly, yes, some tournament, Olympic, this and that. Yeah, just for what? For sense gratification. Yeah. So women should not play sport in the front of men. Women should not run in the front of men, and women should not laugh too loud in the front of men. Yes, this is the etiquette. You should not laugh too loud in the front of men. Because Maya is too strong. That's the only reason. Maya is too strong. Yeah. That laughter by woman is actually attract the man's mind. Therefore, as a woman, like in the Indian traditional culture or practice, like if you have daughter, for example, you are not allowed to, speak too loud or laugh too loud in the front of the guests if some guests come to your house, isn't it? Because that is the culture. Yes, you should walk nicely, not running, not jumping, not playing sport. Yeah. Singing. Singing means singing the holy name. Yeah. In the Linga Purana, there is a statement about glorifying and singing about the Lord. It is said there, a Brahmana who is constantly engaged in singing the glories of the Lord is surely elevated to the same planet as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna appreciates this singing even more than the prayers offered by Lord Shiva. Sankirtan. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement glorifying this process of congregational chanting. My dear king, this word Krishna is so auspicious that anyone who chants this holy name immediately gets rid of the resultant action of sinful activities from many, many births. That is a fact. There is a following statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities that he is able to perform. A sinful man can perform many sinful activities, but he is unable to perform so many that they cannot be wiped out by one single uttering of Krishna. Yeah, don't take this statement as granted. Again, simply one time chanting the holy name that not only destroy your sins from the past, but that can counteract the sinful reaction in the future that you may perform. That's the power of the holy name. But if you take granted of this statement, then that becomes an offense against the holy names. Yeah. Namno balad hiyasya papa buddhihi, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy names. Then you cannot develop love of Godhead. Yeah. So patakam pataki naraha, it is said that patakam pataki naraha. How much sin you can commit, you know? But the reaction is just like toothless cobra. Yes, because you already chanted the holy name. But then, please, don't take it as a granted. Yeah, very dangerous. Very dangerous to take granted of this kind of statement. Although it is from the Shastra, although there is no doubt about this, although it is true. Yes, but we should be very careful. Otherwise, Nama Aparat, then we cannot develop our love for Krishna. Japa, yeah, chanting a mantra or hymn softly and slowly is called japa, and chanting the same mantra loudly is called kirtan. For example, uttering the Maha Mantra, yeah, the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very softly, only for one's own hearing is called japa. Chanting the same mantra loudly for being heard by all others is called kirtan. The Maha Mantra can be used for japa and kirtan also. When japa is practiced, it is for the personal benefit of the chanter. But when kirtan is performed, it is for the benefit of all others who may hear. Yes. So japa and kirtan, both are powerful. Yes. But there is a statement by Sripad Indra Prabhu where he mentioned that if you simply doing kirtan, yes, and not chanting your prescribed rounds of japa, then your kirtan will become mundane. And if you simply chant japa without performing kirtan, then your japa will simply become selfish because you don't think about others. Yeah, so both should be performed. Yes. Of course, first of all, we prioritize our japa because we take commitment during the initiation. We don't take a vow to do kirtan, right? But we take a vow of doing at least 16 rounds per day. But apart from that, we must perform sankirtan also for the benefit of others. And that is preaching it too. Some people said, oh, Prabhu, I don't have the qualification to preach, you know, I'm so fallen, I don't know anything about Shastra. Then do simple thing. Just chant the holy name loudly. Let others hear. Yeah. Yasya Shravana Matrena Harichitam Samasraya. So simply by hearing the holy name, Lord Hari can manifest in someone's heart. Because the ear will not wait for the sound to come. If I clap my hand like this, your ear will immediately hear it. Yeah. So don't feel that you can't preach. Everybody can preach. Preaching is not simply that you are sitting on the high and big Vyasasan and giving lecture to thousands of people. But if you go out to the street and chant the holy names, let others hear it, that's also preaching. And that's, by the way, how Srila Prabhupada started the movement. Yes, he just sit down in a park, in the Town Square Park, and just do kirtan, and people become attracted by that. Yes. So here there is a question by Sobhaktani. why we should chant 16 rounds? Why not 17 or 18? Very interesting question. Why not 19? Why not 15? Yes, actually, our standard is 64 rounds. Yes, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentioned, if a human doesn't chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 64 rounds a day, he is not better than animal. So that is the standard of the Gaudiya Math actually, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yes. And then when Srila Prabhupada preached to the West, Srila Prabhupada requested his disciple candidate to chant 64 rounds. They said that, oh, Swamiji, 8 hours to chant is not possible. And then Prabhupada said, all right, then can you promise me to chant 32 rounds? And then they said, oh no, Swamiji, it's still too much. And then Prabhupada said, okay, then you chant 16 rounds, the rest I will take. And then they said that, oh, 16 rounds, Swamiji, I think that's still too much. Can we chant 8 rounds? And Prabhupada said, don't take initiation. I cannot guarantee you. Less than 16 rounds, I cannot guarantee you. So why we chant 16 rounds minimum? That is the 75% discount by Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada promised us the rest, I will take care. We chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 principles. Why not 17? Why not 18? Of course, you can chant 17. Of course, you can chant more than 16 rounds, no problem. But minimum is 16 rounds. Why? Because that's the capacity that nowadays we have. Even with this 16 also, we are struggling. I mean, some devotees struggle, you know. Some devotees struggle to chant 16 rounds per day. Yeah. So that is our standard. That is the discount by Srila Prabhupada. Why not 17? Why not 18? Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. Never just feel satisfied simply chanting 16 rounds. You know, some people, like, oh, this is the last round, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Jai Shri Krishna, and put the beads hanging all day. Never touch again because 16 rounds is done. But if you have free time, how to utilize your free time? You may read books, Prabhupada's book. You may hear some lectures. You do some kirtan, do some other service. If still you have some free time, then take your beads again and chant. Yeah. Take your beads again and chant. It's nice question. Thank you. That's regarding japa and submission. In the Skanda Purana, there is statement about submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said there that those who are sober devotees can offer their submission to Krishna in the following 3 ways. First, Samprarthanatmika. Yeah, very feelingly offering prayers. Second, Danya Bodhika, humbly submitting oneself. Third, Lala Samayi, desiring some perfectional stage. Lala Samayi, very eagerly desiring to go to one's natural position. Laudyam, meaning excessive eagerness for meeting and serving the Lord in a particular way. Okay, so there are 3 ways how to be submission, is mentioned here. And Lala Samayi means desiring some perfectional stage. What does it mean? Desiring one's Swarupa. Yes, but of course, in general, our Swarupa is the eternal servant of the Lord. But when that Swarupa becomes intense, then Lauliam, greed appear that we want to serve the Lord in particular way, according to one's own bhava and rasa. Yeah. Reciting notable prayers. In the Narasimha Purana, it is stated, any person who comes before the deity of Lord Krishna and begins to chant different prayers, is immediately relieved from all the reactions of sinful activities and become eligible without any doubt to enter into the Vaikuntha. Partaking Prasadam. There is this specific statement in the Padma Purana. A person who honors the prasad and regularly eats it, not exactly in front of the deity, along with Charanamrita, the water offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is mixed with seeds of tulsi tree, immediately can achieve the result of pious activities which are obtained through the 10,000 performances of sacrificial rites. Okay, this is regarding reciting prayers. Yeah, there are two types of prayers that we have to recite. First, we recite our own prayers, meaning we express what is in our heart, what is in our mind to the deity. Second, we recite those stutis, those samhitas, which are already there in the scriptures. Like you can go to the temple and open the Srimad Bhagavatam from the Kunti's prayers, for example, Kunti Maharani's prayers. Then you just recite those prayers in the front of the deities. You can do that, or you can recite the Brahma Samhita. You can do that. If you have Narasimha deities, you can chant the Narasimha Kavacham Stotra. You can chant Narasimha Stotra also. Yeah. So these are the two types of prayers. One is your own prayers. You can be just expressing your gratitude to the deities. Yes, that's a matter of appreciation. The other is to recite whatever is already there in the scriptures. Yeah, and taking prasadam, taking charanamrita also very important. Yeah, not in the front of Jesus. Yeah. Drinking charanamrita. Yeah, yeah. As described in the Padma Purana, even a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other words, even one who has never done any pious activities will become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the charanamrita which is kept in the temple. Wow. Like, so easy, yeah. Smelling the incense and flowers offered to the deity. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, there is a statement about the incense, which is offered in the temple. When the devotees smell the good fragrance of the incense, which is offered to the deity, they thus become cured of the poisonous effect of material contamination, as much as one becomes cured of a snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs. It is stated in the Tantra Sastra, if the smell of the garland which was offered to the deity in the temple enters into a person's nostrils, immediately his bondage to sinful activities becomes clear. And even if one has no sinful activities, still by smelling such fragrance of flowers, one can advance from Mayavadi, impersonalist, to the devotee. Now this is exemplified by the Chatur Kumara. Yeah, Tashyara Vinda, Nayanasya Padara Vinda, Kinjal Kamishna, Tulasi Makaranda Vayu, Antargata Swavivarena Chakara Tisam, Samsobam Aksara Jusam, Abjit Anpoho. In the third canto, it is described, Srimad Bhagavatam, that simply by smelling the tulsi leaves offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, the Chatur Kumara, who are actually impersonalists, they became a devotee of the Lord. Yes, so simply by smelling flowers or smelling the incense offered to the Lord. Yes, you can go back home, back to Godhead. So from the beginning of today's chapter, we read that, oh, you will be free from sins. You will go back home, back to Godhead. Yes, you do this, you are free from sins. You go back home, back to Godhead. As if this go back home, back to Godhead is so cheap. Is it? Yes, if we are sincerely doing all this, we can achieve back home, back to Godhead. Why not? Yeah. touching the deities. Only one who is properly initiated, who is properly following the rules and regulation, can enter and touch the deity, not all. And one who touches the body of the deity following such regulated principles is immediately delivered from the contamination of the material sins. And all of his desires become fulfilled without delay. Seeing the deities. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the seeing of the deity of Sri Krishna in the temple. The devotee says there, my dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavan and sees the deity of Govinda there is free from the courthouse of Yamaraj and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system in which reside the demigods, observing arati and celebration of the Lord. In the Skanda Purana, there is the following description of the result of seeing arati or worship of the deity. If someone sees the face of the Lord while arati is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reaction coming from many, many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from the killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. As we have already explained, there are different ceremonies to be observed, such as the birthday of Krishna, the birthday of Lord Ramachandra, the birthday of some prominent acharya, prominent Vaisnavas, ceremony of Julan Yatra, which the Lord sitting on the swing, the Dola Yatra, the Lord's activities in the month of March. In all festivals, the Lord is seated on a car and the car moves through different streets of the city so that people may take advantage of visiting the Lord. In the Bhavishya Purana, it is said, in such ceremony, if even a chandala or dog eater simply out of curiosity sees the Lord on the car, he becomes counted as one of the associate of Vishnu. Yes, no. Simply by seeing the deities, what to speak of touching the deities. Therefore, sometime in the temple, in the morning, during the Guru Puja, normally in our ISKCON temple, they touch the Chatari of the Lord. Yes, this like a hat or a cap here to our head. That's actually placed on the Lord's lotus feet. Yeah, the print of the Lord's lotus feet is put there. Yeah, the Chatari is put there, and the devotees come and can be touched on their head using this. So what to speak of touching the deities? Just seeing the deities. Yeah. Or it is mentioned here that even the Chandala, out of curiosity, when there is parade, procession, Ratha Yatra, any festival, just want to know what is going on out there. They come out and see the deities, then they are counted as one of the associate of Lord Vishnu. So from all this description, we have seen, as I mentioned, that, oh, you will be free from sins. You will go back home, back to God, and all your desires will be fulfilled. Yeah. So all these are true statements. And now our duty is just to execute it sincerely. Yes, and don't take it as granted. We may perform all this. Yes, we may perform all this. If we become proud, then we will be falling down. Yes, oh, I have done this, I have done that. So what's the big deal? No. Just, if you remember again, for the first time you enter the temple and offer obeisances, how did you feel? So every day we should offer obeisances just like that. Just like for the first time we are coming to the temple and offer our obeisances. Yeah. And not only that, we should think that maybe this will be my last obeisances. Who knows that I will leave my body? These two things we should always practice. Yeah. Sometimes we just casually offering obeisances to the deities. No feeling, no nothing, It's just like you are eating rice without sabji, without salt. Plain. Yeah. But when we offer obeisances, just like for the first time, we are offering obeisances in our life, or thinking that this maybe will be the last obeisances that I do. Chanting also like that. Maybe this will be the last, japa or rounds. So better I chant properly. So one time, one of the Srila Prabhupada's disciples, his name is Jivanatha. So he was going out for Sankirtan. So he was going out for Sankirtan, and then it was winter time in USA. It's cold and everywhere is snow. So somehow or other, their Sankirtan van, went out of the cliff because it's so slippery. Went out of the cliff. So it just few seconds on the air, He was chanting like, "Oh, Jai Nrsimhadev, Jai Nrsimhadev." The driver was, of course, chanting Jai Nrsimhadev and Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. At the same time, some bad words came out from his mouth, like swearing word, bad words, out of spontaneous thing, like the car is on the cliff, just for a few seconds, like you don't know what may happen, just like, and the driver was swearing. Some other devotees freaked out, chanting the holy name, chanting Jai Nrsimhadev, and he was sitting on the van just chanting japa so peacefully. And he thinks that, wow, look at me, I'm so advanced, I'm so advanced that in such a situation, I just peacefully chant the holy name. He thinks that he's so advanced. Other devotees just freaked out. But he told me that actually they are the one who get the most benefit. That maybe that's chanting of Lord Nrsimhadev, Jai Nrsimhadev is the best ever, because they chant it so sincerely out of fear. And then after he became like, he think that, okay, I'm so advanced. And then the next day they went out for Sankirtan again. So he was inside the van chanting the holy name, chanting japa. And then there was one boy throwing an ice ball just to the car, hitting next to him. And he was screaming like freak out, and other devotees just look at him. So he, who were very calm in that incident, and now became very freaked out just with a small snowball being thrown next to him. Yeah. Other devotees look at him, and then he realized, oh, I'm not so advanced. So he became humble. Yeah. So we may chant the holy name, but when we chant like as if we will die soon, there is a big difference. When you think that, okay, I will live till the next 100 years, you can chant like so relaxed, not paying so much attention. But if you know that you will die, then you will chant very sincerely. So that's different. So similarly, performing all these services, with that mood will help us actually. Okay. You may reflect back again when you just first time become a devotee and first time chanting your rounds. Some people cry chanting their japa for the first time. Yeah. But now we don't cry anymore because we take it so lightly. So this service is also like that. If we take it so lightly, then there is no power, there is no feeling in that service. There is no emotion. Yeah, take it seriously. Don't just hanker for the free from sins and go back to God. Rather, we should do it just for the pleasure of the Lord and His devotees. That's more important. Okay. Were there any questions or comments before we end our class this morning? Okay. If there is no, then I would like to stop here. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Ramesh Prabhu, go ahead.
This question is not related with this, but it's a general question. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, Prabhu, removal of mustache is being recommended for the devotees?
Well, I mean, like, of course, we see some of the acharyas or parampara pictures that we have. Like they are keeping like beard, like Gaur Kishore Das, Babaji Maharaj, keeping beard, keeping mustache. Bhakti Vinod Thakur also keeping mustache, Well, first of all, to maintain cleanliness, for men, for men, you should shave your hair, shave your mustache, beard, like this, and just keep sika. It's just a reason of cleanliness and being neat, actually. And mustache is, of course, for the kshatriya, let's say, for the kshatriya, they are okay to maintain mustache. You may ask, like, then why Arjun is not with the Sika? He is also keeping long hair and maintaining mustache. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. So keeping mustache is not a sign of being a pure devotee or not pure devotee. But why in general, we are advised to shave the mustache, because first of all, it is for the neatness and cleanliness reason. Another thing is that to reduce our attachment. To reduce our attachment. That's why we should shave hair also. To reduce our attachment, because you may spend a lot of time just with the hair. As like should I comb my hair like this, or should I comb like this, or should comb like this, right? Or should I put it like this? So with the hair, we may spend a lot of time. With mustache also, okay, should look nice. Okay, should look like this, So like that, just to reduce our bodily attachment, I would say. But having said that, doesn't mean also those who are fully shaved, like myself, without hair, only keeping sika, or without mustache, without beard, is a sign of renunciation. It is not. Everything is within the heart. But as sadhakas, you are advised to do that for the cleanliness reason, to maintain the neatness, and to practice detachment. That's the idea. Otherwise, really, people spend a lot of time with the hair, if you maintain long hair, of course, many grihastas keeping hair. And then when you go to the barber, you have to cut it in such a way. But for me, since the COVID time, I never go to the barber. I shave myself just with the mirror, just holding like this, shave myself. That's it. And it takes only 20 minutes and finish. But if you maintain long hair, you have to cut it here and keep somewhere here, like some hairstyle. And then every year, maybe your hairstyle may change. Every year, maybe your hair color will change. Today you keep black, and then maybe next year, new year, okay, new year, new hair. You put some red color, some green color, things like this. So that's the reason. Otherwise, of course, that is not at all the sign of being completely renounced and completely being a pure devotee. Some devotees, of course, having hair, having mustache, but they're very sincere, I would say.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
By the way, that is very interesting.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. So we'll meet again on Tuesday evening. Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki jai.
Hare Krishna.